What's up, guys? Today we're coming at you with a odd odds deck profile. So let's jump into this deck profile and let's see what we're coming at you with. Running 3 of the main odd odds that you want to get into your hand as fast as possible. Odd odds Arc Pendulum Dragon. This guy's going to be able to make sure, as long as you have him in your pin scale, it's a high scale, and whenever one of your odd odds cards gets destroyed, you can catch your opponent slipping and be able to special summon the odd odds from out of your deck. And that's just going to be very useful to you, and it's just going to help you get the advantage that you want. Also running 2 of Odd Odds Phantom Dragon. Odd Odds Phantom Dragon is very useful. The fact that whenever you have him in the pin scale, to be able to give one of your monsters a 1200 attack point boost can be very, very useful, and sometimes can really catch your opponent off guard. Another thing too, whenever he's pendulum summoned, it has to be pendulum summoned to get this effect. That for the number of Odd Odds monsters in your pin scale, you can do 1200 attack burn damage after you do damage with him. So that's very useful to help to get into the OTKs. We're running 1 of the OG Odd Odds Pendulum Dragon. This card is very good. I will always have at least 1 of this guy in the deck, you know, for a pure build anyway, to be able to make sure that you can either search out cards or just be able to do that extra good damage that your opponent can really get caught off guard with. Running 2 Odd Odds Persona Dragon. This card is very good for being able to take care of extra deck monster effects on the field. Being able to get that 1 negate off of an extra deck monster can be very useful to you. Also too, if you have both of these on the field at the same time, you can activate one, then activate another right behind it. So it's very, very useful. We're running 1 Odd Odds Mirage Dragon. Odd Odds Mirage Dragon, he's the mascot of the
Odd
Odds. He's very, very good. Being able to normal summon him, being a high scale, and if you have Odd Odds on the field, he can protect the other Odd Odds, or at least 1 Odd Odds on the field. So it's very, very useful, can be very helpful for some of the plays that you make. We're running 1 Odd Odds Phantasm Dragon. This card is very, very good. Being a low scale, it's very good for putting it in the pin scale. He's very good for being able to get really high attack point monsters. He's going to be able to drop the stack for every face-up Odd Odds that you have in your extra decks. That's very, very good, and that's just going to help you get the plays going to where you want to. Very, very useful card. Also running 1 Odd Odds Synchron and the 1 Odd Odds Dissolver. Both of these are very good utility cards. One for synchros and one's for fusion. Helps you to get into the plays that you want to get into, depending on how you want to set up your plays. They can both be very good pieces to your plays, the way you want to play them. We're also running 2 Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser. This card is very good in aspect that you can help you go into some of your link plays and also go into some of your XYZ plays. Very useful. Helpful to be able to get an extra monster on board and set up your plays the way you want to. Also running 3 Chronograph Sorcerer and the 1 Time Gazer. Very, very good for the deck. Be able to get that free special summon. Even in itself, the Chronograph Sorcerer, just being able to, anytime a card is popped, just to be able to special summon itself and another monster is very useful. Or you can pop him in the scale and be able to special summon your Time Gazer. Can help to get your plays going to where you want to. And lastly, for the monsters, we're running 3 Supreme King Darkworm and the 1 Donut Gate Zero. Helping to be able to get this card in the graveyard, get that free special summon for the search, being able to get an automatic low scale or just a material that you want to banish out for your draws could be very, very useful for you. But that's it for the monsters. For the spell cards, running 1 Odd Odds Fusion. This is just to be able to make sure that if your opponent does overwhelm your board, they got 2 or more monsters over there, and you got Odd Odds in your graveyard, in your extra deck, you can do a fusion straight out with no monsters on the field or in the hand, so that could be very, very helpful to you. Running 3 Allure Darkness. Allure Darkness is to be able to make sure that you help get the hands unclogged. Sometimes the hands can get a little cloggy, so you won't banish out any materials that you don't need. Keep what you do need, and hit your opponent in the biscuit. The same thing goes with Sacred Swords at 7 stars. This is a very good card. We run a lot of level 7s in the deck. This is going to give you the option to either banish off the field or in the hand. You have to banish before you draw, but still the fact is, once you banish that card out to get those 2 free draws, it's just going to help to get deeper into your deck. On top of that, we're running 3 Into the Void. Into the Void is just very useful. As long as you got 3 or more cards in your hand, get that extra draw, and just make sure that you set all cards or pendulum summon everything out of your hand before your end phase. We're also running one upstart goblin just to be able to get that extra draw. It's just that extra draw, baby. You want to get the deck as deep as you can. We're also running 3 of the best searcher in the game in my opinion. Spiral Flame Strike. Spiral Flame Strike is just a very, very phenomenal card. Being able to search out any of your level 7 odd odds cards, you know, very, very good. Also too, if you have odd odds on the field, you can destroy a problematic card on the field, and you know that can be useful for baiting out some of your opponent's effects. So very, very good card. Also running the one Duelist Alliance. This is a card that I've had, you know, a love-hate relationship with, but it's a very good card. Be able to set up a pen scale, activate this, get your Arc Pendulum to the hand, or your Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon to the hand is very useful. Help to get the play set up the way you want to. If nothing else, it's a good bait card so that your opponent will have to stop and you just get the plays going the way you want to from using this bait. We're also running the one Terraforming, the 2 Sky Iris, and the one Dragon Ravine. I still like this little setup. It's helpful to me to be able to get the Sky Iris when I need to. It helps to be able to search out the deck and be able to protect the odd odds cards I have in hand. Also too, the Dragon Ravine, sometimes it's being able to pitch a odd odds into the graveyard is very useful because you're usually going to be able to get it back with your Arc Pendulum that's in scale if one of your cards is destroyed, and be able to set up that gate 0 there. Supreme King Darkworm, get the gate 0 is very, very useful. And lastly, for the spell cards, we're running one Dragon Shrine and one Foolish Burial. Once again, just being able to get that Darkworm into the graveyard can be very helpful to you to be able to set up the plays the way you want to and just get the ball rolling for the game state. But that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, I'm running one Performer Pal Gatling Ghoul, one Star of Venom Fusion Dragon, and one Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. I like this little setup right here. It's a good utility setup for the fusion cards. You get the Performer Pal Gatling Ghoul, just do that good damage to your opponent, catch him off guard. Your Starving Venom is just a good card to be able to put out on your opponent, you know, catch them off guard. If they destroy it, it's going to wipe off all the special summon monsters. Very, very useful. And the Odd Eyes Vortex is just, you know, the main boss monster for the deck. If you properly fusion summon it, it's going to be able to keep coming back either when one of your Odd Eyes is destroyed, your Arc Pendulum special summons it back, or just to be able to stick it out there and just get those free negates. It's very useful. We're running one Borlo Savage Dragon, one Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, and one F.A. Don Dragster. Borlo Savage Dragon is just a beast. You know, get one of your Link monsters that's in the graveyard. Usually it's going to be Electromite. Equip it to this and get those good negates. Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, just being able to hate on your opponent's battle phase. That way they can't activate no crazy monster effects. And also being able to grab out of the pen scale is very useful. Your F.A. Don Dragsters is good for being able to make sure you can hate on those spell and trap cards. They can be very problematic to you as you're making your plays. Running one Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, one Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, one number 11 Big Eye, and one Abyss Dweller. This is your Odd Eyes Absolutes, just be able to make sure that you can go into some of your plays that you want to go into, and also too, if he's left from the field, just be able to special summon, you know, one of your Odd Eyes from the extra deck is very, very useful. Flare Metal, just be able to make sure you can hate on the, you know, any crazy plays that your opponent might want to make when you get close to time. Just be able to put this guy out there and let them eat themselves up. Big Eye, just your snatch steal action. Your opponent gets crazy over there, gets a crazy monster that doesn't say can't be targeted. You steal that monster and hit him in the biscuit with it. And Abyss Dweller is just, the graveyard is something that most players have to play with, so you be able to stick the Abyss Dweller out there. It's very useful. And that's something about Odd Eyes. We are able to play all the different types of, you know, extra deck monsters that we can, and when Master Rule 5 comes around, we're gonna have a field day. We really are. For some of the Link monsters, we're running one Heraldic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, or Dragon Balls. We're running the Heavy Metalfoes Electromite, and we're running also the Deco Talker. The Dragon Balls, you know, whenever stuff pops off, your opponent is Don't stick a monster out there you don't want. Tribute this card off. It's gonna get that special that you want. You're gonna make your wish come true. You got your Electromite. You just be able to go in there. It's your staple that you gotta have in any Pendulum deck. And your Deco Talker is just a card that I like to run personally because it's a good generic 3. It can get beefy, and also too, it can still protect your cards whenever your opponent wants to target. And for the last 2 Link monsters, running the 1 Borlo Dragon and the 1 Appaloosa Bowl of the Goddess. This is still something I like to run. A lot of people would take out the Borlo Dragon and put in the Bull Sword Dragon. I still like this card because it can get over Avermax, things like that. You know, when your opponent has really tricky cards that can't be destroyed, just being able to, like, what's this card's name? Big blue eyes guy that's blue, you know, Chaos Max. Just be able to steal cards like that that can't be destroyed or targeted. Just very useful. Just steal the card and just hit your opponent in the biscuit with it. Appaloosa, just make sure that you can get around things like Nibiru or crazy monster effects that like to pop off a lot. Be able to stick things out there like that is very, very useful. But that's it for the deck profile, guys. Be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know what you think. Any suggestions you might have. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks, guys, for all your love and support. We're out.